doing the little blow through Kadron setup here, and what I did is I used a 3-inch piece of tubing in between my air filters, because the air filter base, this one I did earlier, it's kind of crappy, but they have the nicer, flatter flange there. One thing to watch out for, these things are zinc coated, so they kind of put off some gases. And then I just I have a leftover top. I used the centering stud there to line up my studs on the tops. I offset them because I'm going to cut all this off anyways, the extra, so I can get in here and weld around it a little better. So I welded them up. Now I'm going to grind off the tops and the bottoms here, just the extra, and then I'll get to work on drilling out the crossover pipe hole, and we'll get working on that. Alright, so I figured to show some progress. The intent here is to come up off the turbo down in this area here, and it'll probably come up, and I'm going to probably cut between the alternator and the throttle linkage here, and then come right about here. But I do have a return spring I gotta worry about, so I'm probably going to end up more over here. T for the back section here. As you can see, I have a rubber coupler at that junction there, and it comes around, makes a little bit of a swoop to go into my homemade carb hat for the Kadron. And then I just need to do the same on the other side, but first I'm going to figure out where my spring sits, and then build my T-section to fit that and clear it. So I'll probably end up coming more on this side. If I come over here, I'll be in problem the way of the linkage, and then I'll also have the distributor to deal with. And you know, the CB has a swoop that goes around that, but I'll probably do that a little differently than them. Of course, then I also have my power wire to worry about, but I think there's plenty of clearance here if I go this way. So sorry you missed out. Only thing you missed is cutting and welding. Simple stuff anybody can do. Okay. Did a lot of work. Didn't film a lot, unfortunately. But so what I've done so far is these are the base plates of the Kadrons and the tops. And then I just used a 3-inch tube, 3-inch OD tube. Piece of its header collector, actually. That's what that was. And then I made them 3.5 inches tall. I didn't think about them sliding down, because that's how tall the filters are. It's 3.5. I didn't think about them falling down farther into the little bottom of the air cleaner lid. So I probably should have made them 4 inches. So it gave me a little less threaded rod sticking up. And then on the side, I just drilled a hole. I didn't have a 2-inch hole saw bit, so I had to kind of cut and fit it as I went. And ran a tube coming out, going back to the back. And then I have a rubber silicone coupler right here, so I'll be able to take this side off independently of the other side. And then I made a T-chunk there, T-piece, with a bend. It's going to come out here, and then I'll bring it around and down this way from the alternator and around the distributor. Once I get the turbo placed, I'll make that pipe. And then on the other side, same thing, air cleaner top, air cleaner base, 3-inch piece of tubing, hole cut in the side, 2-inch OD pipe, and just kind of fit the bends around. I used U-bend exhaust tubing that was mandrel bent, and just had to kind of piece it around and try and make the bends smooth. And there's another silicone coupler. I don't have the clamps on it yet because I'm not all the way done. I had to make sure it wouldn't hit my deck lid spring, so I put the deck lid spring on there to figure out where that was. The deck lid may hit it. This is a little higher than I wanted. I wasn't really thinking about that when I did that. I made this side first and I made it a little too tall. But not a big deal, you know, it'll only hit it when it's up completely, and even at that I don't think it'll hit it very much if it does, you know. So the next part will be getting a flange made for the exhaust housing on the turbo, and then going from there and actually fitting it. And plus I need a oil feed. My oil feed is not on there for some reason, so I gotta buy one or make one. And then I can start connecting the charge pipe up to the carburetors from that point. Alright, so that's pretty much it. Oh yeah, and then exhaust. I got my exhaust tubing over there, but I need to figure out how I'm going to actually fit it in the car too once I get the flange cut and welded on the header. And as for the header, I've already made that, and I made it specifically knowing that I was going to do this. So it's not a standardized header. What it is it's a Baja header, one of those tri-mill, competition Baja headers. And the reason I did that is because I was cheap and it was free. So it's kind of got a snake of pipes, coming around, but it made me put the collector on the driver's side, which is where I wanted it, and I'll be able to cut it back to where I need it. But another obstacle I have is right here. I have one of those filtered pumps, and it's got a shorter filter on it than normal, but that also made, when I was doing this, I had it outside the car, and I kind of fit the turbo up there where I thought it would fit, and then after that, it was kind of like a potluck, shoot if I would, crapshoot if I'd actually fit it in the car. And of course I put the turbo up underneath here and it does fit. So that's what I did for an exhaust for the header. I mean, you could probably use some other, like an 1 3/8 regular standard header and get that fitted under there, but this is what I had and this is what I used, because I needed an exhaust first off, and then I needed to be able to modify it for turbo use. Of course, none of the pipes are equal length on this setup. Even the CB one you buy, they're not equal length. So kind of, it's all about packaging. You can't really fit it under there of equal lengths. You probably could really design and engineer one it would fit. But I ended up using all the tubing that I had for this exhaust, plus one J-bin off a J-tube from another header that I had laying around. So I was kind of limited with what I had to even make it work. So that's what I'll probably put some pictures with that of the header when I was making it, so you can see that a little better. But that's the next time we'll be cutting it up, putting turbo on it. Alright, see you later.